The Enlightenment chasers. Royalties of peace. We are stealing the storms back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. How are we all doing this beautiful Monday? It is January 27th of 2025, and I'm bringing to us another episode on the Golden Age Commencement by Maris Free Lefang. So far, with the President-elect, His Excellency President Trump, on Monday, he was sworn in and he testified it is by God's grace, it is by God that he's going to be able to make America great again. A second term being given. He withdrew the United States of America from the World Health Organization. He withdrew the United States of America from the Paris Climate Agreement. What is this to us? To remind the United States of America that the Enlightenment chasers were not about trying to make a land to be home, but to enable the mindset of Enlightenment perfect to grow to expected that can be spread all over the world. Health and climate. Health is the within climate compared to the outside of the world we live in. The temperature, hot and cold, of the body and the outside world, the hot and cold weather. Expressions that this is only a journey. It is not home. Even with human development, starting from childhood to adulthood, and of advanced age, we cease from being humans and ascend to greater. This greater should not be about making other planets or dividing even more, but rather entering into enlightenment perfect peace, where we are the invisible, indivisible of being. Like a glass that falls off a table and shatters into pieces. A figure of speech expressing the expected of we all divided all over the world, or one mind, with diversities, a restriction from fulfilling that expected of our being, battlefield free, which is why we have education in the four walls of schools, where we go to enlighten ourselves, to become of integrity, reversing despair of divisions, the healing of all back to one, like the shattered glass, put back together and sealed, with no more frictions, with no more struggles, becoming invisible, indivisible, to worry no more about being shattered. It's not about going to Mars. It's about going to the invisible, indivisible, where we are not worried anymore about being shattered or falling off a table. Where our first planet was the battlefield of the mind, the brainstorming of the mind of what is it like, to extent have we realized maintaining our expected position of origin will be perfect, being the one indivisible, invisible. Health and climate expressed of why we have to withdraw. We have to withdraw. Why we have to withdraw from World Health Organization and Paris Climate Agreement. United States of America was called to be the expected of the world, the miniature of the multicultural world must present itself with distinction and fulfill the purpose of our first forefathers. President Trump renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America to import and export, to trade, to increase the economy of America. Why not Mexico? Mexico represents the natives. The native represents all around the world, ancestors. And the child, being the United States of America, must be at work to fulfill what the fathers have given. Being a citizen of the United States of America, you must understand your purpose of the Enlightenment is to be of effectiveness and spread to our origins. Interestingly, all of us in the America came from Africa, Asia, Europe, and Oceania, where Australia is. We came from the other parts of the world. America is meant to be our only new world. We need not go to Mars. For those who want to go to Mars, should at least have the mindset now of expected, not depriving them from going, but at least understanding we need not too much work to reach the end goal. We need not waste too much resources or too much energy or strength to reach the end goal. If it takes one finger to do the work, we need not use all the 10 fingers. It is time we begin to realize the dignity that we are of being and call the higher beings to all other existence. President Trump eased the restriction on oil and gas to increase production. And he goes, drill, baby, drill. All of this is to enable us to have the resources, the economy that will help us to be the expected light that will shine onto the whole world to learn. And then on Monday, that same Monday, President Trump pardoned some people who were involved with a Capitol riot during his first presidency. And also, investigation is still going on with those still needing rehab. Imprisonment is rehabilitation. I'm sorry how we address it in front of each other. Yes, it can be very harsh, which is not expected to be, but some are very anxious and express themselves hardly on others. We are working on those. We are working on ourselves. It's not easy, and we must be able to try to maintain peace restrict ourselves of expect it without another in being involved. Is President Trump's cry unto the world. Emergency on the US border with Mexico and the massive deportation. They need to distinguish the United States of America and also to help us to understand it is not about crowding the United States of America that will make us be seen, nor will it make United States of America realize that we appreciate the United States of America. There is need for us to go to school. The schools are everywhere in the world. For one reason today, I must express myself of now realizing that I am a wise fool. For I have lived a foolish life to now being a wise fool because I wasn't biologically born in the United States of America. I only became a naturalized citizen. I would have really enjoyed the fullness of myself, of being, if I had stayed back in my biologically born country and become of expected and knowing the plans of the United States of America and fulfilling it where I am. If we all move to the United States of America, who will educate the others that need us? Because there are always those who are lesser of being, meaning of disability than others, of responding to enlightenment, needing others to assist them. If all educated persons of the other parts of the world all move to the United States of America, the other parts will never grow. Yet, even after coming here, it is very important for us to be able to move back, or at least be able to go back and spread the message, even if it takes going back and forth. It will play a better role compared to our first forefathers who had to travel. Europeans traveling to Africa under the harsh climate with their bodies very fragile was very devastating. Today, we being of better expression of our being and of education are able to travel back, being blacks, back to blacks. And the development of our world has eased the struggles of those with fragile skin traveling and enlightening the world. It is not in vain that we are trying to enlighten each other to reach our expected of being. The massive deportation would have been very easy if we all had the right enlightenment. So that we do not see each other being handcuffed and restrained. Restraining is the last order. Restraining order is the last order according to the nursing field. And that is very, very significant to understand how devastated we are of higher beings. Such that if such should be expressed now, therefore we the people really need to sit and reflect and wonder why should we let ourselves to be treated like this in front of our children? What are we missing? What do we need to comprehend? They need to follow the order of life, ascending, no more descending. We are on a journey. How do we make it home? Trying to reproduce. If animals should be doing that, should we humans really be doing such after having 4 walls of education and learning ethics of life? I am a victim, which is why I call myself a wise fool today. Being a wise fool is better than being foolish forever. Being a wise fool is beautiful, to recover, to expect it, and encouraging all others to get well, and encouraging the young not to follow the same path. The young should be able to maintain their country of birth and become fulfilled, especially now with the AI and technology all over the world. There is no excuse trying to crowd the United States of America. The natives of America may be complaining about the Western world of coming to take over. That may be a misunderstanding that can be resolved gracefully. But with the skillfulness of these Westerners, we all over the world have become fulfilled. The miniature of our world, the United States of America, involves people from Africa, people from Asia, people from Oceania, people from Europe, even the natives did not originate from here. Moving from the other parts of the world was the commencement of the Enlightenment, which spiked when the Western world came in. Being called a New World Order was to fulfill our end goal of ascending, no more descending. We are on a journey and must reach the destination perfect peace of none left behind is the keynote here. And I really hope we all really reflect on it gracefully. During President Trump's inauguration, Sir Elon Musk gesture of salutation and excitement caught an attention because of anxiety. The world is struggling with anxiety. This anxiety is not because of soldiers or war, but the cause of war, which is our multiplying of being. The more we increase in number, the more we are like threats unto each other. Yet we know the luxurious way we can reach the destination perfect peace. The need for traveling mercies is to become of greater enlightenment of expected, greater enlightenment of expected. After his gesture is being commented upon with attention, it says on Tuesday, $500 billion AI startup was expected, but Sir Elon Musk responded that there is not enough fun. Not sure if this has to do with the complications arising and his name being called. But I will not blame him. What is money? Money is happiness. What is happiness? Happiness is a peace of mind. If you call someone threat, it means that he has no wealth, even if there is wealth. There must be need of explanation and communication, therapeutic communication to resolve the way we address each other. This man is a man of dignity. To call him a threat can be very, very disruptive of the whole world. Nazi and the Israelites, the German armies of the days of Sir Hitler have come a long way with the Israelites. Complicated conflict, which backs up even in the days of Christ, being eliminated. One that was considered of enlightenment. And the European embraced Christ. It's very sad how we have been struggling with each other, warring each other because of multiplying and dividing and falling apart. The Israelites not in term with Christ. The massacre of the Israelites is like Christ massacre. Christ is not just one person. Christ is the world. Galatians 3:28 says we all one in Christ. Expresses to us today that when one is touched, the whole world is touched. It's unfortunate that we don't express it that way. The need for us to really come back to expected of our being the higher beings, to realize that we all matter. We all are very valuable to each other. Every single one of us is very valuable. Until when we are done with this journey, then we begin to comprehend that the one that is lost must be found. Luke 15 verses 1 to 11 testifies. The one lost must be found. We may be looking at ourselves feeling like so many, but we are just one person. Of us all, we are one. The other next to you is you. It's time we begin to comprehend through very little comments we make because of anxiety. There is need for therapy. There's need for therapy for those who assume Sir Elon Musk gestures to be of such complicated. I'm not trying to blame them. It's very important to think out loud. For if you don't think out loud, who knows what may happen? What matters now are those that will be able to appease these that expressed such a comment. Alongside Sir Elon Musk. I really felt devastated. If I was in his place, I don't know how I would take that. Seriously, sometimes I could also say things that are negative. And then when I sit back and think about it, what if it was me? I will feel bad. There's always time to repent. There's always time to resolve mistakes. We make mistakes. It's important to resolve them. That was very huge. That was very huge. Because right now we are really worried about any war. Talking about war, on Wednesday, President Trump expressed the need for Russia to stop the ridiculous war on Ukraine, demanding that the price of oil should be reduced, and that is the, the igniting force behind the war. How people are being destroyed. The people that are being destroyed and bruised are even the innocent ones, the peaceful ones. It's very sad how we are really devastated on the way we do things upon us. We are the higher minds. It's time for us to really awaken gracefully with each other. It's never late. We are a wise fool. At the end of the day, we humans are a wise fool, and we have to be able to wake up and be of expected wisdom. An initial step of awareness of our weakness, we must seek wellness to completion and not partially. We have reached the age. The golden age is expressing our awareness of our weakness. Golden age meaning wise fool. We must reach the diamond age, which is our completion of expected. Let us be encouraged by this medal. The golden medal should encourage us to heal our land, to heal our world. On Thursday, in the World Economic Forum, President Trump laid emphasis on the tariffs to be imposed to increase the economy of the United States of America. If we, the world, understand what the United States of America is to us, we will fund it. We will fund it and make sure it is fulfilled. For the blacks that are in the United States of America should be able to be healed so they can fulfill the purpose of being black in the United States of America, chasing the enlightenment of expected. It is time we begin to realize who we are. We might not have started on a good foot, but we're able to stand up again. And this standing up, called the golden age, we must be able to fulfill for the ancestors to applaud. President Trump asked Canada to become the 51st state of the United States of America, which is a good thing because it brings all of the secondary arrivals to America to one and distinguish between the native and the second arrivals and the Western in Africa and those from Africa who came, the secondary. Those natives might have been a mixture of Africans and Asians and people from Europe. The first arrivals and the second arrivals must be distinguished so that we can tell the father hand that has given the light, the seed to the young to grow. And they should be able to see the growth of both accordingly. Mexico in Mexico becoming equal with the United States of America distinctly is important. Let us understand the purpose of the United States of America. It is unfortunate that we are still struggling with abortion right and multiplying understanding why we should reduce birth rate and even get to the place of stopping having children to understand our true purpose of being higher minds to all creatures. Enabling reasoning in the place of traditions. Traditions were the matter of working upon to reach reasoning. Today, the golden age is marking our coming to our senses, such that the open unconstitutional executive order against the 14th Amendment should not really jeopardize our understanding. It's the matter of us to realize that it is not about being named the United States of America, but rather fulfilling the world order. If I could go back to the United States to Africa with complete enlightenment to reach out to the world, it would be great to have groups to do so without even being forced. Does not deprive us from being legal travelers, but fulfilling the enlightenment. None left behind of the enlightenment, understanding. Children should not be deprived, but when parents do not comprehend their fault, is the need of begging. What we have to do is beg for the understanding. Yes, the president has children who are legalized. What more of mine? It is time for us to understand that even if these children are being legalized, there have to be a mark that expresses the purpose of our being. It's not about multiplying or having children. After having my own children, I'm beginning to realize how faulty I am to have put bringing down children in front of enlightenment growing. So much is revealing that we need to help the young ones understand and not be the ones to be the obstacle in the way of children from understanding. To be a mother is to mother the young generation. I'll be so glad if Vice President Harris really step up in 2028 election. Her lifestyle is very productive to learn from. I hope this beautiful summary fulfills our understanding of the hard work. It's supposed to be smart work. It's hard because of the people still struggling with understanding. And we, the people, must be able to help each other and not only let the president being the one to speak out for us. It's time we begin to come to our senses and help each other heal. Of none left behind. The deportation plan still continues until today, Monday. Rather, a process of taking the message back onto others. With the AI world, we are all fulfilled. We can take classes online, even from afar. We just need to be stabilized of expected. I may feel a little bit destabilized of how long I might have been out from my biological country. It could be tough, but we understanding our purpose, a little step at a time, is fulfilling. Not only reaching out to our biological land of birth, but all over the world of interest is our calling. Not only the United States of America. I hope this message helps us to reflect, being the people of the human world. Enlightenment chasers. Let's peace still the storms, back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace with effective enlightenment. Thank you.